Skirt, skirt, get it. Less is more with Jay Less. Man, they know who's winning. You heard? What's pop locking and dropping YouTube? It's your boy Jay Less, and I'm back at it with another video, you heard? And in this video, you're watching some competitive Overwatch. I start off with Sombra on defense, then I switch to Zenyatta, then I switch back to Junkrat, then I switch back to Zenyatta, attack, defense, you know, all that bullshit. Basically, what I want to talk to you guys is I love Overwatch. And if you watch this video and you're into first-person shooters and you have not picked up this game, you are tripping, bugging, slacking, sleeping, any adjective you want to throw in there, that's what you are right now, because this game is fantastic. Like how I used to be able to play Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 2, that's how I'm playing this game. When I hop on and turn on my PS4, the first game that I want to play is Overwatch. When I come home from work, I want to play Overwatch. When I wake up, I want to play Overwatch. Like, I'm telling you, it is an absolutely fantastic game. And now that I'm getting more into it in terms of like competitive, and like I'm watching videos about characters and how to be better effective with them, I like using more complex characters like Sombra, for instance. This wasn't my best game. This was just basically a game that showed you guys great teamwork, because we really did work really well as a team. I was playing with a group of like 4 or 5 other guys, and we held it down for the city of Bethlehem, you heard? And now that I'm more into the game, I'm more into complex characters like Sombra, for instance. You know, you can hack enemies to where they can't use like their specialists and stuff like that. So like basically Roadhog, the L1 button allows you to throw your hook out to grab an enemy to pull him closer so you can hit him with the shotgun blast. And then his R1 button allows him to heal himself. And then he has his ultimate, which is triangle, which is like his power move. Well, if I hack his ass, he can't use any of those specials, meaning that he only can use his shotgun, which doesn't make him that effective of a character. Same with Tracer. L1, you have the blinks, and then R1, you have like the rewind. But if I hack her, she's going to be unable to use those things, plus her ultimate as well. So it's, I don't know, I'm kind of like enjoying the fact that like, okay, well, once you get past like characters like Roadhog and Soldier 76 and Bastion, and like once you get past like the characters where there's not very much skill ceiling, like as long as you know how to play a first-person shooter, you'll be able to do well with them. I've like took on like, so like right now I would say my main is Lucio. And the reason why I say that is just because I kind of been forced to play him recently, just because when you go into competitive and you're playing by yourself, people are going to pick the characters that they want to pick. So they're going to sit there and pick, you know, the Soldier 76, they're going to pick the Hanzo, they're going to pick the Genji, you know, so it's like your team always needs a healer. Preferably, I like the Lucio Zenyatta combo, or like the Lucio and Mercy combo, like on my team, just because like Mercy's really good at single healing and Lucio's really good at group healing. So it just makes your team like seem like they never die. And that's a good thing. Honestly, I would say probably my favorite team comp in this game is probably Reinhardt, Roadhog for the tanks, Lucio, Mercy for the healers, and then Soldier 76 and then the other DPS is kind of just I would personally say like Tracer or like Pharah. That's like my favorite team comp right there. But it's just like I've evolved into using different tanks. So for instance, I like using Winston now, which, you know, when I first got the game and I got him, I was like, oh man, this guy doesn't deal enough damage. Like coming from Call of Duty to Overwatch, like it really is totally different game. You know what I mean? It's like, for me, it's like And when you play Call of Duty, right, let's take Black Ops 3 for instance. The best gun in the game in terms of submachine guns was the VMP. If you were playing against another player that didn't have if you didn't have a VMP, excuse me, and you were playing against someone that did and was good with it, you would die every time. It would almost kind of force you to have to use the VMP to do well, you know, depending on, you know, the skill of the other players. But since we're talking about competitive, you know, when I play UMGs, you know, on Modern Warfare Remastered, most of the guns you see are M16s, P90s, AK-74Us, Scorpion with the suppressor. You know, you kind of see the same guns. Like, you know, even if you go back to Black Ops 3, you saw the M8, you saw the VMP. So there's always those top tier guns that give you the edge. So coming in with that mindset, I was sitting there like, man, Winston's, you know, gun doesn't kill anything. But the thing about it is this game is so team oriented. I've done incredible with Winston, where, you know, the team will get them weak and I dive in there and his electric gun is like a scatter gun. Like you can hook like 3 enemies at the time and deal the same amount of damage to each one. And, you know, and then you have your bubble, which can kind of shield people. So basically what I'm saying is that over the course of me playing Overwatch and just learning the game, it's definitely different. If you're coming from a different first-person shooter, like, you can't get discouraged. Like, you can't, like, pick up this game and go in like it's Call of Duty. Like, you're going to have to learn. And that's why I'm happy that for competitive that they make players play until level 25, because honestly from 1 to 25 you rank up, you know, decently. It's not like you rank up like crazy or you rank up too slow. It's a good pace, but it also allows you to try different characters, learn them. And then it's like, if you're like me to where like you just love the game, then that's when you start, because at first, I'll be honest, but when I first started playing this game with my homie Captain Trips and he was telling me about videos, I didn't really check out videos, even though he recommended this YouTube channel called Your Overwatch. And, you know, I was like, all right, whatever, you know, Trips, like I ain't gonna check out no damn video. But the more and more I played it and I started to fall in love with the game and I wanted to get better at characters, that when my thing is that there's certain characters that people are like, oh my God, why did he pick? Like when I picked the Sombra in this game, everybody was like, Sombra, oh my God, Sombra. But then afterwards, everybody was like, yo, you are a beast Sombra. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's what I like to do. I like to make people like understand that you don't have to pick the cutout, you know, like characters. Now, that's not to say that certain characters aren't more viable on certain game modes. So for instance, like Capture the Point, like pretty much like Hardpoint, you really do need a Lucio to help speed boost your team to the point, you know, to keep, you know, that is a good thing to have. And if one team's doing that and another team's not doing that, then the team that is doing it's going to have an advantage. But, you know, the thing about like capture two-point capture and Capture the Point and Escort the Payload and Payload, those kind of game modes are kind of up for whatever you really want to do. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you're good with the character, as long as you're working to the character's strengths and you're working with your teammates, you can have like crazy setups. Like I played a game just recently where we won with no tanks. Like, we were defending on like Heikenberg or Reisenberg or something like that. It's like the castle map. We literally, like the team that I was playing with, we literally had no tanks. Like, we had a tank, we had a Reinhardt in the very beginning for the first point, but once we lost that point, nobody was playing tanks. And in the back of my head, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm terrified. Like, we don't have any tanks. Like, basically we don't have any bullet sponges to where our squishy characters can lay into them as well as the tank. So I was kind of nervous, but we ended up holding the payload. And I literally said afterwards, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe we did that without any tanks. So it's like team comp is not necessarily the biggest, most important thing in Overwatch, but you got to pick your character wisely. You know what I mean? Like, if we have like a Reinhardt, a Lucio Zenyatta, a Soldier, you know, and then you go and pick a Widowmaker, like, Widowmaker's kit doesn't do anything to help anyone but herself. She has like the thing that, you know, like the Spider-Man hook to get her up on ledges, and then like the trip mine in case people try to flank her from the cheeks. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you're not getting picks with Widowmaker, you're not getting value from her, and you're not helping the team at all. You know, because you're being Widowmaker, but you could switch to Mei, which May's ultimate like freezes everybody in the radius. You know, she can use her Mei walls to like block tanks away from the healers and be able to pick them off. Like, she can self-heal by turning into an ice block herself. And then, you know, her gun, she freezes characters so everyone can just unload into them. So it's just one of those things where it's like, you as a player have to understand what your limitations are with the character, how well you can play it, and how well it's going to work with the team comp you already have. And that's why I've kind of become a Lucio main, just because no one that I encounter really likes to play healer. Everybody wants those, you know, huge play of the games and shit like that. And so for me, I just stuck with Lucio. Now, I'm good with other characters like Sombra, Soldier 76, Winston, Roadhog, Zenyatta. I'm pretty much good with every healer except for Mercy, just because when I play Mercy, I literally just fly around and heal people. I don't even shoot my gun. I'm pretty good with Junkrat, pretty good with Mei, so Reaper as well. So it's just one of those things where it's like, I'm a very well-rounded player. I actually was told this by a guy I was playing with who like checked my stats, and he was like, wow, he was like, you're the most well-balanced player I've met. Like, you know, because I have like 4 or 5 hours with like 6 or 7 different heroes. But he says that he'll run into somebody who has like 18 hours of just Soldier or 20 hours of just Junkrat, like people who just play that character. Now, recently I've been playing a lot of Lucio, so Lucio probably will get the edge out in the front, just because I've been playing him, just because when I play solo, not very many people want to play healers. But other than that, I'm very, very even across the board about what character that I can play. So I cannot stress enough how fun of a game this is. Like, I'm not even trying to promote it. I'm not even sponsored by Blizzard. It's just, a game hasn't made me feel this much in love with it since Black Ops 2. Now, I loved Black Ops 3, but Black Ops 2 was literally my favorite Call of Duty of all time. Like, that was my shit. And I would be able to get on and play and not worry about any of my friends being online. And that's what I'm doing in this game. And I'm even meeting people who are really dope, and I'm playing with them and shit. So, you know, this is a great game. And I just feel like you owe it to yourself to put it in your gaming portfolio and not be scared that it's not like your regular kind of shooter and stuff like that. Yeah, the graphics look weird. That was one reason why I didn't want to get it at first. But when Destiny got it for me for Christmas, I instantly fell in love. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments section, and I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side here.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.